They say you are what you eat, so I don't eat chicken feet. But I love me some of Grandma's pickled beets. Well, cut it up, put it in the pan, throw it over your shoulder and see where it lands right here in Farmer's Kitchen. Maters, taters, beans and corn, the cows in the barn and the sheep's been shorn, kids in the barnyard chasing Grandpa's chicken. Spices, slices, cuts and dices, gonna slash your grocery prices right here in Farmer's Kitchen. Help you grow your garden good with recipes to suit your mood. Try some grub you've never tried before. Smash it with a wooden mallet. Gonna educate your palate. Right here in Farmer's Kitchen. In Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen. We're gonna cook something good now.
Funding for Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen is brought to you by Harvest Energy Solutions, Harvest Cabins, when you absolutely have to get away. The City of Stanford, Kentucky. Come back home to Stanford. Woods Equipment Company has every tool you need to make working the land as rewarding as hunting it. Good Foods Co-op, Marksbury Farm Market, Weisenberger Mill, your village shop.
Hello and welcome to Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen.
Oh, thanks for welcoming me.
Thank you, Farmer.
Hello.
You know what? It's fall. That means flannel shirts.
That's right.
It's a little chill in
Turtlenecks.
the air. Turtlenecks. It's cold in the cabin.
Yeah, it is.
Now, as we see before us, apples. I know where you're going here. I put something on Facebook the other day. You made a pie, and it was so pretty I had to take a picture of it.
Yeah.
Whose recipe?
My Grandma Solomon's.
Grandma Solomon.
My dad's mom.
Now, she did a little something extra.
She did.
Not just apples.
Pecans.
We took it a step further.
You did, because you always add great things.
I didn't put butterscotch pieces, even though I was tempted.
No, that would have been good.
But we wanted to put some raisins and some honey.
Good idea.
Now, as we move and progress and do more and more stuff ourselves and have more stuff sitting on our shelves that we produced, such as our beautiful lard.
Yes.
And let me tell you what, is there anything that makes better apple pie crust than homemade lard?
No, this is the best crust I've ever made.
What is it that makes it, I mean, what have you noticed different?
It came together better, and it wasn't crumbly. It was perfect, and it tastes delicious.
We got our own honey,
Yay.
which we're going to add to the apple pie. This time of year, we're thinking about apples. We were looking for ideas last week. We went shopping. We got some apple cider. I mixed something up that is no problem at all. It's not brain surgery. It's very simple stuff. And you're going to have you a wonderful warm drink when it's cold like this to take the chill off. And man, it was cold this morning. We got a frost. One thing I do want to say to our viewers, they're not our viewers, they're our friends and extended family, our country kitchen folks. Sometimes don't you wish that you'd spend a little more time with your grandparents, maybe your grandpa Kalakarinas, listening to his stories, learning a few more Greek words. Right. With your grandmother, they pulled you in and said, let's do this. So it's time to understand that with Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen, it's a show about preserving traditions, food traditions in America, and saving those things forever.
Right.
Those memories are so important. From your parents, get those recipes from your parents and your grandparents while you still have them. And you know what? Someday you're going to think back. You want to protect that legacy for your children, pass those things down. Isn't it wonderful to know that Grandma Solomon had a recipe here?
She didn't write it down. She kind of throws it together.
Let's throw some together.
All right.
All right, how do you start?
Well, we're going to start with apples. And we got some Granny Smith apples here.
All right. We just pruned our apple tree down in the yard. That's our next project. I think we got to get some folks from UK to come talk about us. These extension office folks are great. UK people are great. Last week they came out and looked at our critters. We know what kind of shape they're in now. Great resource. And a lot of times you can look up on their website.
All right.
So how many apples are you going to put in? Is this for one pie?
This is for one pie.
Okay.
And I have kind of a thinner pie. You'll see my pie pan's a little smaller because I like them to bunch up. But you can do however thick you want. How many apples? I did 7. That seems like a good number for me.
Now, another thing you can do and put up And we have not done this, but Miss Helen did this. Remember Miss Helen that made fried apple pies?
Those are good.
She put up her own filling. It's in a jar. It's ready to go. We need to do something with her again. She was so sweet.
Yes, she was.
And made the best fried apple pies ever. And a lot of the stuff I'm referring to, let's go ahead and talk about it right now while we got a minute. If you haven't seen our stuff before, we have quite an online library of recipes at timfarmerscountrykitchen.com, how-tos, all sorts of fun stuff and doing it yourself. Once you get done with that, go over to Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen Facebook page and like it. See what we're doing, where we're going. It's a lot of fun to talk with you guys and share recipes and thoughts and so on and so forth. Fall is upon us. Don't you love fall?
I do. I love it.
Beautiful.
I love cooking in the fall.
Yeah, I mean, you can bake and not have to worry about heating the house up. And our bees have been very busy. I've been watching them come and go. They've been packing stuff in every day where it's fairly warm. They're still packing stuff in. In a little while, we're going to check in with Alan, the bee dude, and see what he's got going on. We're going to take a look at our bees, see what they're doing, because I like my honey.
I know you do.
There's so much stuff you can use it. I have it every day in my coffee, local honey.
You.
Well, that's pretty local when it's 50 yards from the house. All right, what's the next part, Mrs. Farmer?
All right, this is what she really didn't measure, and I always like, well, how much of that? How much of that? She would put, and I believe about a half a cup of flour.
Okay.
So we're gonna do that. You know, back in the day, that's all they did was cook all day long, and they didn't measure. They just made stuff.
They've done it. I mean, you didn't go to the store and buy pies. You made pies.
Right, and they made pies every day.
Pie safes.
Yeah.
Thing of the past.
Yeah. Sugar. Oh, I'm just gonna put some in there. What do you think? About a quarter of a cup, third of a cup? What do you think?
Say that was exactly a quarter of a cup.
Quarter of a cup. All right. Gotta have a little bit of salt. Gotta have a little bit of salt and everything. Maybe half a teaspoon, a couple shakes. And like,
allspice.
gotta put some allspice. Let's put.
Have you noticed how much allspice we're using? What is it? A fall
know.
thing? What's going on?
It is. It's about half a teaspoon
I
of
would
that.
say that's right.
She didn't measure. You can't measure. You gotta use your hands when you're grandma.
What's this?
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
Yes. All right. If you want to stir that around.
All right. All right.
Okay. And some people just throw their apples in and throw this mixture on top, but I kind of like to mix it. All right. Now we got to get our special little chopper that I
When we
love.
bought this, you know, that's the great thing about the stuff that we used to look for at antique places or flea markets that I used to ignore.
Yeah.
Now we look for the old kitchen stuff.
It's the best thing ever. We're gonna put,
Now, how much pecans was that?
that's about a half a cup of pecans.
So this was her deal. She liked
Yeah.
the pecans in her.
Just something a little extra to put in there, something different, give it a little.
Then we just took it one step further. You know how when you have in the fall, we eat more oatmeal and you put apples
Right.
in it and raisins and things like that. I started thinking, why not raisins and why not honey?
Yeah.
I didn't do any butterscotch pieces, even though I thought about it. That wouldn't have hurt anything, would it?
I like your raisin idea and your honey. How about we stick with that? You know,
I'm
it,
just
it probably
kidding.
would be
Yeah.
good. I don't know.
I love my butterscotch pieces.
All right, this is your secret ingredient, which I think is going to be wonderful.
man.
We're going to put those
Apples and raisins. Now, if you don't
Yeah.
like raisins, or wee-wees, as my sister used to call them.
in there. Wee-wees.
I think that's well mixed.
I do too. Good job.
How good a job did I do?
You did
On a
really
scale of 1
good.
to
You're
10.
great. You did an 11.
A good mixer. All right, now what?
Now we got to make pie dough and stuff and finish it out.
All right, I'll tell you what let's do. Let's clean this up
Okay.
before we go to the next step. Alan's coming over to check
good.
my fall honey situation. Now, obviously, the bees have to have enough to get them through the winter.
Right.
But if they have enough on that top box, and there's enough in there for us, we'll take that.
Yum.
Would you take some fall
I
honey
would.
if they gave it to us?
So we leave some for the bees and we get some for us.
Yes.
That's what they live on.
Let's check with Alan to see how our bees are doing. Bee dude,
What's going on, bud?
what's going on? Hey, you know what it is? It's fall. Look at the leaves.
Getting that time?
You know, this spring you came in and we slung some honey. Beautiful, white color.
Good.
But I was sitting up there at the cabin the other day and I saw some of your honey. It was a little bit darker. What a beautiful flavor. It's different from the
Yeah,
spring
yeah,
honey.
it's a different flavor, the fall honey is. It's a little bit stronger flavor to it, you know.
But it has its own beauty. And it's
More of a darker
absolutely
amber
delicious.
color to it.
Now, here's what I've got. I've got spring allergies and I've got fall allergies. You know, me, Mr. Outdoor Dude, sneezing my guts out when
Yeah.
it comes around. I found that this year I've been eating a lot of honey, and I don't know if it's just me imagining things, but it seems to me like this is my easiest year so far.
There's a lot of people that's what they buy the honey for. It's for their allergies.
Yeah.
You know, so whether it works or not, I don't know. Whether it's a mind game, but I mean, it's
Not too long ago, Got a stomach ache. Well, actually, I got food poisoning. So the next day, you know how you're starting to feel better, but you're feeling kind of queasy. I read somewhere, take a tablespoon of honey. And I am not kidding you. I took a tablespoon of that honey that we slung and just took it straight down. And within 3 or 4 minutes, I felt completely, I didn't have one more twang of nausea.
I've never heard of that.
Mm-hmm. Now, you know these guys. I'm not going to pretend like I'm an expert, and that's why I have you on. I like to talk to folks who know.
No, I'm not an expert, but...
But compared to me, you are like the king of the bees. If there's such a thing. All right. So what I'm thinking is I'm kind of greedy, but I'm thinking, is there any more honey in there for me? But they obviously have to make it through the winter. How do you judge that and look at this hive and say?
Well, what we'll do is when I open it up, I'll look in there. That top box should be full of honey. And if you're lucky, the super will be, both top boxes. As long as they got honey in that top box, you know, you can pull that super, no problem at all. Even if there's not a lot in there, you can still pull that super. Just start feeding them. Just start feeding them, and they'll put it in there, and that's what a lot of people do. Once they pull, then they'll start feeding like a 2-to-1 mix of sugar water, and feed the bees up, and they'll build that up, and that packs them through the winter.
It being fall, it being October, what's happening technically inside the hive? What are the bees doing to prepare for winter?
Well, the queen should start slowing down on her laying, producing a little bit less a brood in there, and of course all the drones should be gone by now. All the male bees, they're all kicked out. They kicked them out, and basically the bees should just be bringing in, starting to make stores for the winter and stuff.
Now, from an outsider and from a long time ago, I would see a beehive and thought, man, you couldn't go in there. You know, you can't get 150 feet. That's the typical thought process. Here we are standing next to this hive, which has been a very, very manageable hive.
Yeah, this is a good hive.
I can mow. I can ride a riding lawnmower right at the hive.
Yeah, this is a great hive you got here.
Doesn't happen every day, though, right?
No, you're saying it now. Next week it may be a little bit different if you're promoting.
Well, just in case, I am going to stand over here with my EpiPen aimed right at my neck, and I'll watch you do what you do.
Will do.
Thank you very much.
Sealed up pretty good.
What are they trying to do? Build more on there?
Yeah, they're sealing it up. They don't want any air to come through there, so the bees will actually go in, and anywhere there's a little draft or anything like that, they'll take this, what they call propolis, basically it's just wax, and seal it up. Just like glue right there.
Wow.
That propolis stuff. Got plenty of bees working up in here. They have them capped off, which means
Honey.
Pull this middle one out, just take a look at it.
Wow.
Dude, you are golden.
I'm loaded.
Every one of them's just like this.
No kidding.
You can't ask for a frame to look any better than that, though.
So that's exactly what you're looking for.
This is what
That's
you
capped
want right
up,
here.
ready to go.
Mm-hmm. It's really light, too. I mean, it's going to be darker than the spring honey was, but well, I got the sun behind me, but got some awesomeness right there.
So the next time around is slinging again, huh?
Mm-hmm. We can go and get this off here and get her taken care of.
Makes me happy. Thank you, B-Dude.
Not a problem, man.
What's next, Mrs. Foreman?
Let's make us some awesome pie dough.
All right, now keep in mind, this is lard.
Oh, I love
Now, this just isn't any lard. This is our lard.
Huh?
Look at this.
Smell that and look at that.
Look at that. We rendered this down
It smells good.
fairly quickly, and we still got that light of color. Look at that. Look at that.
Isn't that nice?
Wait, how many scoops you got? Look,
I'm
look.
gonna put 3.
That is not in any way processed, bleached. That's just pure lard.
Wonderful. I do that. And then let's put some sugar in there.
That
Gotta sweeten up your dough, yeah, just a little hit there. And then I'm gonna do about 1.5 cups of flour in this. I think that's gonna get us, as our pie plate's actually kind of little, so shouldn't need that much.
I was always fascinated by this part.
Okay, see how this lard is so wonderful. I mean, it's not chunky. See how it's just mixing right in this dough? That's the best ever.
Consistency?
Yes.
Does it make a difference?
Yes. Put a little water in there for me if you would.
Okay, say when.
Just a little bit. We'll have to keep adding a little bit. Okay, a little bit more. Okay? That might be good.
Instead of looking at the amount of water that we're not measuring,
Yeah.
look at the consistency. Look
Right,
what's
get the
happening
dough like
here.
you like it. And I like the texture of this dough. It's really good. All right, we're going to break it in half because I'm going to use half for the bottom, and then we'll need half for the top later.
Makes sense.
And I'm telling you, this lard makes the best dough. And it doesn't break, it doesn't crumble. I've never had dough work this good. It's almost like I bought it at the store. It's so perfect.
You know, now they're saying lard in its purest form is heart healthy, omega-3 type stuff,
And yours is so good.
and so easily done. Beautiful.
Isn't that nice? Gotta have more sugar.
Oh, sugar, it's a pie.
I like to sugar up
It's a pie.
it's a pie, that's right. Now, we'll take this wonderful mixture we made.
Now, this may seem simple. You may say, okay, they're just making apple pie. But you know what? This isn't any apple pie. This is Grandma Solomon's
That's right.
apple pie with a twist.
She'd have loved your twist. Okay, now, before you put your special ingredient, I'm going to do what she used to do. She took a whole lemon,
Okay.
and I love these old lemon.
With the holes in them?
Yes, because it gets rid of the seeds. Put this all over it. Gotta have lemon juice in there.
Gives you just a little tart in there.
Yeah. And she'd take a half a stick of butter, because it's good for you.
Oh, yeah. We're not telling you that's the only way it can be done. This is just the way we do
Right.
it. We're not saying this is the only way, because there is no only way. You can do it 18,000 different ways. This is just our way. We're following the instincts that we have when it comes to cooking. You know what's good with butter?
Honey. And usually I'd have just stuck it in like this with more sugar, but I like your idea.
If you'll hold that. Now, how could this hurt?
It's gonna make it good.
We're going to use fresh honey. Oh, that'll be terrible.
It's gonna be
that
awful.
surely won't be any good. What? Quarter of a cup?
At least. I said you did more than
I'm
that.
trying to stop it.
Yeah.
Here, go ahead and run your finger across there because it's too good to waste.
Yum.
Wow.
Now I just need to make a top. Let's cover this baby up and cook it.
All right. Oh, it already smells good. I'm telling you, the lard. And if you want to have fun in your backyard, you can go to your butcher and ask for pork trimmings or pork fat. You can render your own lard. Look back on our recipe of rendering lard. It's not really a recipe, but a process. You can have it in your own kitchen.
So good. It's gonna make some little air holes here.
That's beautiful.
And another last thing that she used to do, you want to make the top look pretty. She'd take a little bit of whipping cream. I maybe have not even a tablespoon here. And we're going to add just the egg white. And she always put this on the top. Some people just put egg white. Some people have their own.
That gives it a nice glaze on the top.
She did whipping cream. So, and I'm just going to use my hands. You can use a little brush if you want. Just kind of move this around on there.
Making me hungry, Miss Farmer.
Is it? Gotta wait an hour. And that's what she put on her pies. And I think maybe sprinkle, my hands are dirty,
Cinnamon
maybe
sugar?
a little more sugar on top,
Oh,
just
that
in
would be
case.
terrible.
All right.
That'd be awful. We don't want any sugar.
Not awful. And we're ready to put this in the oven.
Now, I have an idea. While that's baking, we got a little bit of time to talk to Alan and again show the process of slinging, what you have to do to get your own honey right here in the cabin.
Really?
We got to clean this up first before we bring
All
the
right.
bee stuff in.
I can
All
clean
right.
up real quick.
I'm so excited. We got spring honey earlier. I think 17 jars.
I think it was 17 pints is what we ended up with.
And now you said we might even get more. of
Get
the
more.
fall
Should get
honey?
more out of this one.
Now they're packing stuff in today. Okay, it's October.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think they're hitting?
Probably some goldenrod left, bee aster. You know, that's what I'm going to assume that they're hitting right now.
Well, I'm going to say no more and get out of the way. Tell me basically what you're going to do. You're going to pull this off?
I'm going to pull the super off. Then what I'll do is take and brush the bees off the frames and separate them out and keep a cover on it. And then we'll take them in there and yeah, they've got plenty in there. That's what I'm looking when I'm pulling these. Every frame below here is pulled out
Chock
and
full.
packed. Yes, sir.
Now, you know what? Every time I see you, I notice you got a little different setup. You've kind of adapted some things. And is this something you came up with?
No, this is something that I actually bought. This is called a capping box. That's what this is. And basically it's something for you to put your cappings in so it can drain, and you can save the honey out of it. And
this may seem redundant, but this is spring honey. Look how light and clear that is. I can't wait to do a taste test that against the fall honey.
Yeah.
But I already smell the difference. I mean, it's going to be a different flavor.
Yeah, the fall honey is a little bit. It's got a stronger taste to it. Just working it back and forth, and just cut the cap.
Well, the smell that's coming out of there.
Come in, just rake this up.
Now, you say that you don't really want to go too fast, right?
No, you start off kind of slow. I mean, and you'll start seeing the honey sling on the sides.
Is that too fast?
No,
About right?
You can go faster than that.
Faster than that? It's like a circus ride.
Yeah, see, we're starting to sling now. That's pretty good speed right there. Then we'll take this and set it out there somewhere close to your bees, lean it up against a tree, and then I'll come in and I'll clean every bit of this out and take it back in the hive with them.
Just a strainer? It's almost like cheesecloth.
Yeah, just strainers are different grades. It starts off a little bit coarse strainer, and it keeps getting finer and finer. I've got 3 of them in there. Got 2, 4, and a 600 mesh in there.
I'm going to hold this up next to that color as it comes out. See if we can tell the difference. A little bit darker. That's still light for fall honey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of course, I'm seeing some color now.
You want to ease it up kind of slow.
Gonna cap that off. Slide another one under here. And it's already gone through what, 2 filters?
3 years, actually. 3 filters in there, yeah.
Oh, liquid gold, look at that. Thank you, B-Dude.
Appreciate it, Tim.
See you shortly. What's that smell like? Heaven?
Yes, it does.
Apple pie heaven?
I think it's ready.
All right, let's get that out.
Oh, perfect.
Well, I was taking pictures and putting them on our
Nice and brown.
Country Kitchen Facebook page the other day. Now, as if the house could smell any more fallish or appley, this right here smells like potpourri when it's cooking. Kentucky Orchard, Evans Orchard, makes this apple cider. And we're going to start off with a quart. That is 4 cups in Bangladesh. And there's about a quart. Now,
In a pinch.
this is just a little reminder. It is fall. Let's put about 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, light or dark, it doesn't matter. We're going to put some cinnamon sticks, 3/4 of a teaspoon
Okay, this is a
of
quarter.
allspice. And let's go half on the nutmeg.
Okay.
All right, now, what do we end up with? Oh, I don't know. What is this?
More of your honey.
More fall honey. I'd say let's go 2 tablespoons. Fall honey, turtlenecks,
Cold.
flannel shirts, apple pie. I'm scooting this over here. Ow.
Be careful.
Will you please cut me a piece of that?
I will.
I'm telling you what, that is the perfect crust right there.
Yes, it is. It's going to come out pretty good.
Watch as you dislodge that perfect piece of yum.
Falling
Look at
apart.
the yummy falling out.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you know what? You want to share?
This is there. I see all your raisins.
That looks like that might be the perfect piece of apple pie right there.
I like the honey and the raisins. Good job. Still tart, but it's got the sweet.
And you get that little crunch from the pecans? Wow.
Finally had some cider.
Oh, wait. I might be able to hook you up. You get it to a nice little simmer. Serve it warm. Now you could run this through a strainer, but I like mine chunky. All right. Here we ooh, cinnamon stick.
Perfect.
Already in there. Now.
Wow.
Isn't it good?
It's really good. Nice and hot. I like it.
Wow. Of course, that's really, really hot. I'd like to just pour the whole thing down right now. I'm really happy because everything turned out so great, but I'm also kind of sad because you know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time to discuss the fact that it's actually all about
Good times.
good friends.
Good eats.
Good eats. See you next week on Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen.
To order a cookbook or DVD of the show, please call 502-319-0487 or email timfarmerck@gmail.com. Special thanks to Furniture World Superstore, Housewarmings, Tater Knob Pottery and Farm. Funding for Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen is brought to you by Kentucky Sheep and Goat Development Office. Try something different tonight. L81 Bottling Company. Taste, love, and share the tradition. Diamond Gusset Jeans. The original Gusset Jean. Careful craftsmanship. Continual improvement. Diamond Gusset Jeans. Born and worn in the USA since 1987.
Is it the insightful strategies and analytical capabilities that make Edward Jones one of the biggest financial services firms in the country? Or is it 13,000 financial advisors who take the time to say thank you?
Night, Jim. Gonna be a while?
I am, Liz. Got a little writing to do.
It's why Edward Jones is the big company that doesn't act that way.